Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Lorena and I love to share my recipes with you. And if you've been here before, then hello again. Today we're going to make mixed berry bars. It's actually just another way of having a berry pie because we're going to use the same dough that I use for a pie to put on the base. Then we're going to put the berries with other ingredients that are also used with a pie filling, and then we're going to put a delicious crumble on top. Today I'm using berries that my friends from Minuto Verde brought me. They have this amazing freezing technology where the berries are frozen on their own and then they're packaged, so you can actually take out as much as you need and then freeze the rest without being worried that you're unfreezing all of it and have to use it at once. I like to use frozen berries because they're much more friendly to use. You waste a lot less also because berries get damaged really quick, but if you want to use fresh ones, then that works just as good. As always, if you want to see the full recipe, then all you need to do is click on the link in the description box below or on the eye above me, and that will take you to the blog where you will find lots more recipes. Remember also that if you like this video, you can put thumbs up to it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. I'm now going to make these mixed berry bars, so if you want to see how it's done, then keep on watching this video. We're going to start by making the dough. So what I've got here is some softened butter that's at room temperature. It's really nice and soft. I also have here some sugar with salt, some flour, and also vanilla essence. First we whisk together the butter and the sugar until we have a smooth mix. Then we add the vanilla essence and repeat. Finish with the flour and the salt and give it a nice mix with the spatula. To make the base, we put some baking paper at the bottom of our mold, and this will make it so much easier to unmold afterwards, and we just press down the dough until we have an even surface. I'm now really happy about how even this is. It's going to be really easy to unmold with the paper that it has around it. And now I'm going to pop it in the freezer for about 15 minutes just to help it not shrink in the oven when I pop it in. This is now nice and frozen, so it's going to go into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes or until you see that it's nice and golden. I've now unfrozen my berries and I'm just waiting for them to drench out all the water that comes from the unfreezing method. And while we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to go on to making the crumble that goes on top of the filling. Making a crumble is really easy. We're going to use the same method that we use for making scones or even a quiche dough, which is a sanding method. In here I have my flour, sugar, salt, and also butter that I've cut up. It's important that the butter is cold so that it doesn't melt with your fingers. I'm just pinching the butter into the flour and the sugar and the salt until we have a nice and crumbly texture and no lumps of butter remain. I have now discarded the water that was left from the unfreezing process, and we're just going to add everything else on top. I have some flour, which is going to make the sauce thicken and so it doesn't make the dough underneath wet. I also have some lime juice and sugar. Just going to mix everything in, and it's important that you do this at the very last minute before you put it on top of the dough, because otherwise it will start to leak more juices from the berries, whether they're fresh or frozen, it's the same thing, and you don't want that because it will make the dough underneath really wet and nasty. Just look at how vibrant those colors look. I'm just going to flatten it down just to make sure that the crumble on top will also be flat when we put it, and then just distribute it around as evenly as you can. Okay, so this is now ready to go back into the oven at 180 Celsius still, and it's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes for this to cook all the way through. We're going to see bubbles of the berries coming through, and also the crumble is going to turn nice and golden. Okay, so my bars are now out of the oven. They've been out of the oven for a while now, that's why I can hold them. And I'm just going to wait for them to chill completely before I can cut them. Once it was at room temperature, I popped it in the fridge for about 30 minutes just to make sure that I was comfortable to cut it without messing it up. And then I just cut it out into 8 personal pieces, but you can cut them as small or as big as you want. And there you go, lovely and drool-worthy mixed berry bars. That was my mixed berry bar recipe. I really hope you liked it. If you did like it, don't forget to put thumbs up to this video. It makes me really happy. Also, if you make this recipe or any other recipe from the blog, don't forget to send me a picture or tag me on them because I really love to see what you cook. Oh, and if there's anything that you would like me to teach you how to make, whether it's savory or sweet, you can leave a comment below.